This ugly woman is a sea woman. Her family has been living off harvesting seafood for generations. That day, she had just gone into the water when she discovered a shimmering golden object. Having never seen such a thing before, she thought it was golden seaweed and was delighted, almost losing her bearings. But soon, something else in the distance caught her attention. Excited, Irene went up with her tools and started digging. Finding that she couldn't move it, she used all her strength to pull, and it turned out to be a man with golden hair and bright eyes.
可把会同名字的人
Irene was excited that she had found a treasure. At this time, a group of sea women came over, not wanting to be discovered by her companions, and with nowhere to hide, Irene acted on impulse. She directly pushed the man back into the sea. The golden-haired man struggled desperately, and soon stopped moving. Irene had no choice but to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and dragged him up onto the shore. Facing Irene's curiosity, the golden-haired man was so frightened he almost peed himself. Seeing the seaweed on the man's feet, Irene directly pulled out a small knife.
创自修有
The man's name is William. His family is all about money and nothing else. His mother disdains him for not being serious about his work, and instead being obsessed with antique porcelain, especially the mysterious Eastern water pots. It's said that by putting one on your head, you can feel the amazing power of the East. Since the family doesn't have a distinguished status, his mother wants him to marry a fallen aristocratic lady, in order to elevate their status from mere merchants to nobility. Seeing his betrothed's crude table manners and lack of shame, William, unable to tolerate it, pleaded with his friend to help him flee that very night. His friend, a mere low-level employee, said he couldn't do anything against the rules, but William used his financial clout to get his way, and so he left a letter and set off on a journey to the east. Little did he know, his trustworthy friend was unreliable. While taking William's money to help him escape, he also took money from William's mother, promising to definitely bring William back. But when they were nearing Jeju Island, they encountered a violent storm. Terrified, William hid inside a wooden barrel. A huge wave then swept him, barrel and all, into the sea. When he finally regained consciousness, he found himself facing a strange woman. The knife-wielding Irene reminded William of the terrifying stories he had heard on the ship. He pleaded for mercy and fear, but he soon calmed down, as the frail woman in front of him did not seem to have any ill intentions. After a lot of back-and-forth communication due to the language barrier, Irene soon brought back 2 fish that she had caught. The smell of the roasted fish attracted a wandering old man from the village. The old man told Irene that the man must not be seen by anyone, or else he would be executed. Hearing this, Irene hurriedly hid William in her secret hideout. After some gesturing, they managed to exchange names. Irene gave her precious knife to William for protection, telling him to hide well and not wander off. She promised to bring him food the next day. That night, as William lay on the beach, he fondly recalled the scene of Irene saving him, feeling that everything was so wonderful. But the unfamiliar environment soon filled him with fear, and he couldn't help but think of his mother back in England. The next day, William, not having understood Irene's words, came to the shore. Suddenly, a familiar object appeared in the distance. Taking a closer look, it was none other than the precious item he had been longing for. William excitedly rushed towards it. Unbeknownst to him, someone else had also set their sights on his treasure. Luckily, the old man quickly tackled William to the ground, preventing him from being discovered. William could only watch helplessly as his treasure fell into someone else's hands. The man who had picked up the porcelain was overjoyed, for he had been holding it in for 3 days without being able to use the restroom.